with State of Origin one sleep away, typically would give a quick thoughts and hitch it to our regular NRL tips and predictions video, but seeing as we didn't get around to reviewing the Queensland team list, we'll be doing a separate Origin 1 preview video where we'll run through the lineup in a sort of tail of the tape, head-to-head type of way. So while we talk about our predictions and our picks and whatnot, we'll have each player's current 2024 stats. And here is how these teams line up, starting in the fullback position. For the Blues, James Tedesco, a semi-late change to Dylan Edwards, who was set to make his debut, but unfortunately hurt himself, get this, outside of work if you will, doing extras. And if you're wondering why someone like Dylan Edwards, why he's been so consistent over these past few years amongst a star-studded position in the league, this is why. This tells me he's a student of the game looking to improve his craft in any way he can, and unfortunately he picked up an injury in the process. Fear not, Blues fans, as we all know, they have thrown up the bat signal to call in James Tedesco, so sure enough he slips his way into that number 1 jersey, and it's a damn good replacement seeing as he is popping off at club level. And for Queensland, they have Reece Walsh. Nice little contrast of styles. From what I know, there shouldn't be any changes to this Queensland side, so we'll just keep running through the team list so we can get to our predictions and whatnot. Moving on to the rest of the back 5, on the wings we have Brian To'o. By the way, we're going in order of how they have it on NRL.com, and in the 2 jersey for Queensland, Xavier Coates. Coming in the number 3, for the Blues, Steve Crichton. For the Maroons, Val Holmes, couple of game breakers there. And the other centres, the number 4s, we got for the Blues, Joseph Akuso Sua'ali'i, and for Queensland, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. That's another nice little contrast of styles. And to round off that back 5, Zach Lomax, the other wing for the Blues, and Murray Ta'ulani for Queensland. Moving on to the halves, at 5'8" for the Blues, they have Jerome Luai, and for Queensland they have Tom Dearden. At halfback for the Blues, Nico Hines, and for the Maroons, Daly Cherry Evans, who is also their skipper. Moving on to the confirmed engine room, starting with the Blues and their skipper, Jake Trbojevic. For Queensland, Ruben Cotter. In the number 9 jersey for the Blues, they have Reece Robson. For the Maroons, Ben Hunt. And to round off the front row, Payne Haas in the 10 for the Blues, and Lindsay Collins for the Maroons. Moving on to the back row, starting with the Blues, we have Liam Martin in the 11 jersey, and a surprise selection, more so a surprise omission, as many expected David Fifita in the back row. For the Maroons, we have Jaden Sua making his return. In the 12 jersey for the Blues, Angus Crichton. For the Maroons, Jeremiah Nanai. And to close the starting 13 for the Blues, Cam McInnes. And for Queensland, Pat Carrigan. On the interchange, in the 14 for the Blues, Isaiah Yeo. For Queensland, Harry Grant. 15 for New South Wales, Haumole Olokowatu. For Queensland, Moeaki Fotuaika. 16 for New South Wales, Spencer Leniu. And for Queensland, Jermaine Hopgood. And finally 17 for the Blues, Hudson Young. And for Queensland, Selwyn Cobbo. 18th man for the Blues, Matt Burton. And for Queensland, Felice Galfusi. So that is your confirmed lineup for game 1. Now apparently it is supposed to be wet or raining when these boys take the field, and looking at both teams in full, they both have players that are suited to the type of footy the predicted conditions produce, which is like a slow grind, low scoring type of game. So we may as well have a chat about these, I guess you could say, advantages for both teams. So starting with the Blues, they seem to have a heavier pack and players, especially in the outside backs, that have styles suited to not only wet weather footy, but the Origin arena in general. Some big outside backs that can get through a lot of work, and a big bench. In the Blues case, a 4-forward bench that would, again, will be handy if it ends up being a slugfest for 80 minutes through the middle. So again, they're outside backs that are genuine workhorses and meter eaters, and are aerial threats. On both sides of the field, you've got Lomax, Critter, and Sua'ali'i. They're also stacked with defensive demons. Blokes like Jake Trbojevic, Reece Robson, Payne Haas that can hold down the middle, as well as Cam McInnes, and endure the chaos that is the first 15 to 20 minutes of an Origin match, and lay the platform for that 4-forward bench that they do have. Isaiah Yeo coming off the pine with his footwork, or his leg speed I should say, will be more beneficial than him starting. Leniu's aggression and punch, and Hudson Young and Haumole, massive attacking threats. When compared to the Queensland bench, I do think New South Wales have the upper hand and have a bench more tailored to how Origin is typically played and what the weather conditions are said to be. For Queensland, they too have defensive demons in their forward pack, but do have some soft spots. But the likes of Ruben Cotter, Lindsey Collins, Carrigan, they're just as defensively sound as the Blues players we mentioned. But yeah, their advantages, their biggest advantage, I think, is the fact that they do have a genuine kicking tactician in Daly Cherry Evans. Tacticians, I should say, too, with Ben Hunt playing at hooker. The other advantage I've given Queensland is that they have, or I think they have more X-Factor / genuine game breakers in the side. The biggest and most obvious being Reece Walsh, arguably one of the best attackers in the league today. The Hammer, as well as Harry Grant coming off the bench. There's a lot of threats all over the park for Queensland. That's pretty much what I had for advantages for Queensland. The big one is their playmakers. They have better playmakers, especially in DCE and their dummy half rotation, but mainly DCE and his ability to control a game through his general play kicking. That and X Factor. Moving on to our tips and predictions, we will play the margin game. So for game 1, obviously I do have Queensland, and history does tell us that Origin openers tend to be close. So we got Queensland 1-12, and for try scores we'll pick one from each team. So for Queensland, I've got the Hammer. He loves a grubber. And for the Blues, I've got Joseph Suaalii either catching a bomb himself or a batback from Zach Lomax, assuming he is playing on that side. For our game 1 man of the match, we're going to go with Queensland's general in Daly Cherry Evans and backing him to have a masterclass. And for the overall series MVP or Wally Lewis medal, they have been going to workhorses as of late. Paddy Carrigan in 2022, Ruben Cotter last year, and this year we are going to stick with that and take Lindsey Collins. And that's about it. That's our little preview and prediction for State of Origin. As always, if you have any predictions of your own, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed that, be sure to run and shred that like button. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.